Yes, sir, I must welcome you once again. Daybreak Show, it's on Rock City 101.9 FM Citizens Forum this morning. Yes, we will again be talking politics. For anybody who wants to beat his chest and say the crystal ball is clear as it has to do with the governorship race in Ogun State and so many other positions, well, the answer from some people will be no. The sky is still very cloudy, highly unpredictable. The manner of what will fall from the sky, when it will fall, still remains what nobody can actually predict. That's the situation, the political situation in the Ogun State, and therefore politicians who are involved are talking, realigning and aligning movement across the different political spectrum and stages, elders meeting to ensure that things go right. And of course, the powers that be, from the governing political party to the so-called main opposition parties. Do we really know the number of political parties that will be referred to as main opposition party in 2019 in Ogun State? Again, your guess is as good as mine. The party in power right now in Ogun State itself are still talking, trying to look for what the Yorubas will call Omoye, the prince, or anointed for that purpose. That makes things really, really difficult. And analysis of where it will go becomes a thing for which nobody can actually say. Yes, where would this alignment and realignment take us to in 2019? Who are talking? Who will benefit from it? Who will lose from it? The talk is also on the earlier permutation that Ogun West may likely have it has become another subject. Question marks here and there being placed in front. Who knows where it will go? These are what those alignments are trying to find out, and will they really get it? This is what we'll be looking at this morning on Citizens Forum. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And I am Tobi Joseph. Just like Dele has said, we'll be looking at a whole lot of issues this morning. As regards 2019 elections, the political scene is getting hot up, is getting interesting. A lot of people are discussing, a lot of people are meeting, bridges are being built for alliances to be made and concretized so that those who have genuine ambitions can actually have their way in 2019. One of the political leaders in Ogun State, no matter the political family that you belong to, is one of the respected political leaders in Ogun State. Is right here in the studio, a former chairman of the PDP in Ogun State, Chief Joju Fadairo, is our guest. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Toby. Good morning, Dele. Nice seeing you again.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, Chief, I'm sure you've been part of some of these alignment talks, meetings that we talk about. However, the question of definite positions as to where that will go, can we say that is clear now?
Yes, it is clear because the coalition movements met about 1.5 or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the exact date, where the NIM, CNM, and about 23 strategic coalition partners met and then arrived at a platform to be used on 2019.
Okay, now you are talking about the ADC.
Yes.
Okay,
precisely.
with the coming of ADC, APC today is the party in government. A couple of months ago, one would say PDP is the main opposition party, but there are so many other parties emerging, and so many name dropping of this, and these political bigwigs aspirants are likely to also move into different political parties. I know before coming, I have this. How many strong political parties do you think we will have towards 2019, or do we have as we speak?
Uh, in Ogun State, I would say ADC, PDP, APC, SDP. Uh,
APP.
I don't know. I'm talking of Ogun State now.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. Labour and then Accord. All of them are.
Oh, so Accord is not coalescing with the CNM or NIM.
I know in Ogun State they are talking to us.
When
I
you
don't
say
know. I don't know if they have met.
No, we are talking about we want to stay here in Ogun State to look at those alignments. So it's specifically Ogun State issue.
Accord is
So I
talking.
thought Accord is also
Accord is
part of that
talking
coalition.
to ADC. If you say they are part of it, to some extent, I would say yes, because their leader in Ogun State has been talking to us.
Okay. Now,
okay, so hold on, sorry. When you say the leader of the Accord party has been talking to you, Accord is a party. The
Yes.
ADC is a party.
Yes.
Now, the CNM was a coalition, was
Yes.
a movement that
NIM
metamorphosed
movement, yeah.
and then, or let's say, coalesced into the ADC.
Yeah.
Is there any talk of merger between the?
That's what I said. I said they are talking to us. They are making moves so that we can merge. But it's not been finalized. That's why.
Chief, we are really looking at okay, all these talks, repositioning, alignment, and all those things. Now, if after all these talks, um, these things, there's no agreement on candidate because that is the main issue.
No agreement on what?
Candidates.
Okay.
Because which is usually the main issue. And today we have over a dozen of strong names that are aspiring to be. So are we likely to then have up to about 12 different political parties because these aspirants may be moving to their different political camps where they feel will be comfortable for them to seek election?
You see, this kind of talk is not supposed to be on the air. When people are trying to merge, you cannot come to the air and say, Mr. Ojo is leaving it for Mr. Fadairo or something. You don't do that. But I know that they are going to merge. I don't think we will have more than about maximum about 4.
Chief, sir, again, we are using the previous events, instances that have happened in previous election to postulate, and that's what we are using as our narrative. That this is like what happens each time a candidate who feels strong loses the primaries, he adopts another political party. So, which we may not be ruling out come 2019. The APC, none of the political parties are in their primary set, but we know, like I said, there are over a dozen strong names contesting or aspiring to the government. So that means because it will only go to one person, all the other 11 will find a level, a platform.
Because it's only one seat.
A platform to use. So that's why the question is, these alignments and talks that are going on, will it lead to anywhere?
I think it will lead to somewhere because, and like I told you, it's not for the ear. I'm not supposed to be discussing who is talking to my own candidate or who is talking to another man's candidate. You don't say that. The man will feel aggrieved and then he may even stop the discussion. So I'm sure there is going to be coalition. People are going to step down for one another or merge or something like that. That one is in the making.
Okay.
But you don't say that kind of thing. Yeah.
So that it doesn't
Yes.
collapse in the
There before Toby's question. So, because the talk, the argument, debate before now, before the beginning of this coalition, is about the zoning to the different senatorial zone or ethnic group. So, and I'm sure these will form part of the talks going on. So, those talks, those coalition alignment talk, have they concluded on which of those, or at least this, there's no name now in this, that okay, this is the zone we want to give it to.
What I can tell you is this. Zoning, you have many parties. A party may say, I'm zoning to Ijebu. Another one will say, I'm zoning to Egba. Another one to Ilaro or whatever. But reality is what we have to talk about. If people are in their right senses and then they have conscience, definitely it's going to be West, which is Yewa Wuri. That is where it is tending to. And if you look at it, even if the government has not said it's going to be in Yewa, you will see that it's been tending towards that. And I know PDP too is going towards Ijebu. But then, if about 2 or 3 parties are going towards the West, then you will know that is
I know you are not in APC,
I'm not.
but as a politician, you also have your own way of getting information from.
I won't mention name. Even
No, I'm not talking of name now.
No, I'm just telling you that I'm not in APC. Even some of the aspirants, they wanted to do something. They invited me.
Now, with the latest movement and story speculation, is that even what we have just said, that it is sure that it will go to the West, has become doubtful within the party.
Which of the party?
APC. Are you also aware of that?
You see, I'm not aware.
That but the party is already also doing its own plan, plan B, which means that they no longer strongly.
Since I'm not in APC, it is difficult for me to tell you that I'm aware. I'm not aware. But from all I've heard before, they're working towards Yewa. Whether they have plan B or plan A is not for my consumption. They wouldn't have told me what they wanted to do, and you know that too.
Mm-hmm. Now,
they won't call me and tell me this is where they are going, because they don't know where my own direction too.
Yeah, but you may have your own means of knowing what happens in their camp.
If you are saying that, to the best of my knowledge, is still towards the West.
Okay. Now, Chief.
Yes.
The issue of zoning has thrown up a lot of permutations. People have also argued against zoning this governorship slot to the Ogun West senatorial district. Let us use the senatorial district now as
that is the correct thing to even use.
Okay, good.
You don't use division. There's nothing like division anymore.
Good. Now let us look at it from that angle. Is it right for us to even say that the position of governor, or who takes over from Governor Musso, should be based on which senatorial district has not actually have a shot at it?
My own view, it should be to the senatorial district that has never had that shot, because the issue is that the Yoruba adage says, and you will see that all the governors that have been coming, even right from Papa Onabanjo's time, they have always been taking care of their own senatorial district. If you go to Yewa, you will pity them. They have never been there. They have no road, nothing. And I can tell you, because I've transferred through Yewa, Awori area. If you go to Pakpa, from Pakpa to Ilaro, you have third road. When you leave that place, you go to Ota, to Idiroko, you have another third road. When you reach Idiroko, from Idiroko to Ipokia, that is all they have. All the other roads are terrible, full of potholes, even not motorable. From Ilaro to Owode, it will take a journey that is supposed to take about 20 minutes, maybe it will take you 1.5 hours. So I believe, I'm very strongly true, that the shuttle should go to the west.
Now, if you say that a short should go to the west, uh, some political analysts have said this is not the first time we are saying this, and this is not the first time that the people of Ogun West have been supported and even empowered to actually present a candidate that can win election. 2011 come to mind, and 2015 also comes to mind. That means Ogun West Senatorial District have been presenting candidates but have not won election. What exactly has been the problem or the challenge of Ogun West? Is it that they've not been given opportunity, or the opportunities they've been given, they've messed that opportunity up?
Well, first of all, I would say they have not messed up any opportunity. It is only God that puts anybody in position. So the fact that they have been there 2011 and 2015 does not mean that they cannot do it. Buhari himself was there 3 or 4 times before he made it. So you cannot use that one as yardstick to say that they cannot contest. They are not God, and the people who have been there, they are not God as well. The fact that they were there in 2011 and 2015 and they want to be there in 2019, there's nothing wrong in it. I feel it shares selfishness for people to be thinking that they were there, they were given chance, they were not able to. They are not the people who are doing it. And you know, in Nigeria, money changes hand all over the place. And if we don't stop this question of giving money to voters to sell their birthright, or to lose their sovereignty, this same story you will continue to say, that they were given chance at one time. And don't forget that they manipulate elections. I am yet to be convinced that Bega didn't win in 2015. I'm yet to be convinced. So if things like that happen, how will you now shift it on Bega Nasiru that he didn't win it, or the Yewa people did not do what they are supposed to do? We went to court and we knew what happened. So any school of thought saying that they had it 2011, 2015, I think it's not fair on the West. The West.
All right, still talking about the West. You just mentioned Gwega Isaka now, who contested in 2015. There are also popular names and figures that have also thrown their hat into the ring in Ogun West. Do you see a situation whereby the Ogun West will not shortchange itself once again in 2019, work together and work on this aspirant so that they can step down for one another and present just one candidate, and then go into alliance, strategic alliance, with the other 2 senatorial districts so that they can win this election?
I think the Yewa Awori people are now singing a different song, because what happened when Yaya and Gwega met has never happened in the history of the West. They all came together, their leaders, name it, all of them, the professors, all the people that matter in Yewa Awori, they met and they are discussing. I am sure they are going to come out with well, when you say people who are contesting, they will say they have about 9 people in Yewa Awori. I don't believe so, and I made that one to the letter. 1, Gwega Nasiru. 2, Yayi. And then all the other people in APC, when they do their primaries, it will become 1. So it's about 3 people, and I'm sure they are likely to find a way of coming out with one candidate.
Now, you said that it is unprecedented that Solomon Adela, Senator Solomon Adela, who is also one of the popular aspirants, met with Gwega Nasiri Seka.
No, it's the Yewa Wori people that organized,
facilitated
that. Yes.
And I recall vividly that Solomon Adela was saying that he's willing to be the sacrificial lamb just for that ambition to be realized. Now, that is saying that two people have agreed to work together. Two aspirants have agreed to work together. I also know that there are more than 6 aspirants in the APC waiting for the endorsement of the governor, Senator Ebikule Amosu. Now, if that happens, that the governor chooses his successor amongst them, or even beyond them, as he has alluded to recently, will there be that continuous synergy and alliance between the Yewa stock, so that there'll still be one candidate, so that the same situation that happened in 2011 will not repeat itself?
You see, what you have just said is a very difficult thing to discuss, but I will try my best to say what I think should be right. There's not, if the opposing camp can come together with one candidate to face the incumbent, I don't see anything wrong in that, because you won't expect, you've been talking of zoning. For instance, let's say all the political parties agree to zone into the West. You won't expect the government not to put a candidate down, and then you won't expect the opposition not to get a candidate. So that one is not something that they will have to sit down and say, leave it for APC, leave it for ADC. That one cannot be done. It will still be 2 candidates from Yewa.
That is what we say. Chief,
yes.
Coming back to this alignment talks, you have agreed that the position of your own alignment and group is that it should go to the Ogun West senatorial zone. I'm talking about the governorship. And then a school of thought will say that where's your own strong point, your unique selling point for that candidate, if the governor has also shown and expressed that that is where he is also moving to. And then the school of thought says what the other people are just doing is attempt to squatter the the position of the government, showing contempt and disdain for the governor himself, that he will not be the one to do that because it's going to be historical. So that instead of that, you don't have a USB, you should have been working with the governor to achieve this.
You see, there's no way by which the opposition will now say, I'm dropping my candidate for the government in power. It's not done anywhere, and it's not going to be done at this time. If the governor likes, he can take anybody. It could be from Yewa, it could be from anywhere. But if he takes somebody from Yewa, and then the opposition is having somebody from Yewa, that one will be left for the electorates. You know that it is not in Yewa alone they are going to vote. Maybe I'm just trying.
So that's exactly what I said. If the opposition, the coalition, strongly and genuinely want to give it to Yewa, and they should have been working with the government, who also have decided that that's what they wanted to achieve that.
There is no way by which that will happen. You know, the PDP was in power. They took somebody from their own party. PDP took its own candidate. It is question of 2 people now, opposition and government. The Yewa people will not say that. I'm sure they won't do that. Everybody has his own market that is selling. I'm selling my own market, you are selling your own market. I have my own candidate in the opposition, he has his own candidate in the government. And the people of Nigeria, specifically the Ogun State people, they know what they are doing. They know who to vote for. The Yewa people, because the two of them are coming from there, maybe they will split the votes there. It cannot be splitted in Central and Ijebu. That I can assure you.
Will it surprise you if
That
after 2019 election, the Yoruba people did not win, or the Yoruba candidate did not win the election?
I'm not a pessimist. I know at this time, even my own candidate is going to win. He's going to be the next governor of Ogun State. So there's no question of being surprised or otherwise.
Chief,
Yes,
have you heard of a plan
that
by Ogun Central to also hijack the process in the case whereby the Jebus are saying that it is their turn, and the Yewas are saying it is their turn, or let's say the Ogun East and Ogun West are fighting over whose turn it is, and the Ogun Central can also snatch it through the back door. Have you heard of this plan?
Or through any door?
let me say I've not heard of it, but this is democracy.
Okay.
Even if the 3 senatorial districts agree that it should be in the West, anybody can come out from Ijebu or from Central. So it is allowed for democracy. So I have not heard about that, but for any Egba person to be, say anybody from Central to think it will come through the back door is going to waste his time and money. That I can tell you.
How so? Are you saying that the people of Ogun Central are not competent and vibrant enough? So
That is what you are saying. I've not said so. I'm competent. Although I'm very old, I can't be governor anymore. I'm competent. We have several people in Ogun Central that are competent. But then, let's give what is due to the other side.
For the sake of equity.
Yes, because equity and fairness.
Now,
that's what I'm talking about.
Talking about that.
So
Chief,
you people from Egba, you want to come through the back door, forget it.
Are you saying we because you are not? But
because I'm not part of them, that's why I said so.
All right, so we are not actually.
I talked to the Egba people who wanted to do so.
Okay, we are your interviewers, so we are.
I know you are not part of it.
Okay, now let us look at it this way. The Ogun East has 9 local governments, and the voting figures or the voting population in that senatorial district cannot be waived by the hand. The West has just 5. Oh, maybe you disagree with me.
Yes, I do.
You disagree?
Continue. Yeah, I disagree with you.
You can dismiss the voting population.
No. I'm not saying. When you said the Ogun East, it's like you are saying they have.
They have 9 local governments. That's a fact.
You see, don't let us go back to history. They have 9 local government because when I started this program, I said, Toba Muoko Funweri Aruku Sodara. General Dia put 9 local governments there because he was in power at that time. Their population is not up to that of the central. Even if we come to Abeokuta South alone, nobody in Ogun State can win election without the central. So we have the majority figure. So that one, I wave it off. Not that they should not vote, but to compare with what we have in the central, forget it.
Okay, now where I'm going, Chief, is that even if you say that the population is different and it's a different ball game, Central
has about 48 to 50%
of the voting population. Yes. Fine. Is the entire voting population in Central, especially the main stakeholders, the traditional rulers, the religious leaders, the political leaders across political parties, are they being carried along and they are following in total this alliance or partnership, as it were, with Ogun West? Now, if Ogun West is going for governor, so who picks the deputy governorship slots? Because when you are entering a partnership with a zone or central district, then you must be thinking about what if they want to support you, for example, or support your candidate, they must be thinking about their own interests. What do they get if they follow you into that battle?
Let me tell you this. If, for instance, Party A, I'm talking generally now,
Yes.
has its chairman in one senatorial district, the governorship from another senatorial district, automatically the deputy will come from the third ward, because it is question of distributing positions, because you cannot have the governor and have the SSG and have deputy, you have the speaker. So all this will be arranged.
Now, Chief,
Yes.
you are a member of the CNN, the coalition of national
CNM.
movement, CMM, the one coordinated by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and I'm sure you've attended several meetings of discussion. Until recently, or during campaign 2015 in particular, former President Olusegun Obasanjo openly endorsed Ibikunle Amosu. He openly praised the projects and efforts he has made to change the face of Ogun State, which he said elated him. What happened? When? Where did the tide change? That former President Olusegun Obasanjo no longer believes in continuity and supports who Ibikunle Amosu will produce, since they both have the same agenda of giving it to the West. What happened? Why did it change?
It's very position? Short answer. Since I'm not Obasanjo,
I said you've attended several meetings.
Yes, he has not been discussing Amosu or Obasanjo. To let you know, he doesn't belong to any political party.
I know, but he's a stakeholder in Ogun State.
Yes.
And that's why I said he has openly praised and endorsed the
and
project,
then
the work of
you are now asking me what transpired.
Yes, why is he not? Why should he not throw all his weight behind the people?
Then I'm not Obasanjo. I can't answer that. I can arrange for you to see him so that he can tell you. That I will do.
Okay. Now, Chief, we've heard reports that this same Ogun West that are angling to take over from Senator Ibikunle Amosu in 2019, some of the aspirants are already discussing with aspirants in Ogun East so as to get the deputy governorship slot. How would you react to this? How do you feel? Is it all in the bid to throw spanner into the works of the Ogun West project, or it is a realization? Is it
who is asking for deputy from where?
There are some aspirants. We don't want to
from
mention
where?
names. From Ogun West, who are already discussing with aspirants from Ogun East to get the deputy governorship tickets of the party eventually. Is this not a move
aspirant
to truncate from
West trying to be deputy
to an aspirant from Ogun East? Is this not throwing spanner to the works of the Ogun West project? Or are they just being realistic, having found out that it may not be possible for Ogun West to get that governorship position?
Well, you see, individuals can own up to his or her own opinion, but people like that are pessimists. They don't look at the future. And anybody who is doing that from the West must be, we cannot abuse people on the radio, but then I would say anybody doing that from the West is out of his mind. Sort of saying it's not Omo Babai.
Okay, so you are
that's
saying
that's my own opinion. For anybody from the West trying to jettison the opportunity to be given them by talking to somebody in
But
in
apart
the
from
East,
this sentiment of
I'm not being sentimental.
no, not you now.
Okay.
The general perception, the sentiment is that is working is that they have been denied, or the West have been denied of that position. People will trace the history since 1979, since 1976, and says Ogun West people. And apart from this sentiment that is working, that is there, that's why I asked earlier, what special selling point can we bring out and say this is why everybody must sleep in the same direction?
Well, you see, when you say everybody must sleep in the same direction, are you talking of opposition and government? Because for clarity of purpose, I would like to know that.
Even the opposition, why should opposition also key into that sentiment of it has to be Ogun West?
Well, you see, the opposition should key into that sentiment because what is good for the geese is good for the gander.
It's still the same sentiment we are talking about, sir.
That is not sentiment. This thing is, as you are here now, if you are the MD.
If the gander cannot fly more than 5 meters, and the goose can fly 500 meters, why should the gander demand the same thing? Because we are birds. Demand the same thing.
This one is not question of birds. It's question of human being, and people should not be self-centered. I've told you that I've transferred through that place, and all the people coming from the west and central, they have not done from the east and central. They have not done anything there.
Apart from not being governor, is there any other position the west has not had the opportunity to serve the state?
Which position that is more than the governor?
Well, when you say service, is that
when you are serving, if the people have been doing justice and equity, all this complaint from the west that
we've had the west served as commissioner for works and infrastructure. We've had them served as commissioner for housing. We've had them served as commissioner for health. We've had them served as SNG speaker.
Let me tell you this. The commissioner for works, the SSG cannot do anything without what the governor asked him to do. If for instance he wants to do a road in his place without the permission of the governor, he can even fire him. It's hire and fire. What do we call it?
Hire
and fire. Yes, he has it. The position they were not able to do anything on their own. To some extent, it's ceremonial because he cannot do. The commissioner for work cannot. I remember during the time of Benga Daniel, they were talking of Omu Road. The road was bad. I went to the governor. I told him many times. He said I would do it. That is the one to his own place. He said, I said you are lucky I'm not the commissioner for works. I would have gone to do it and then you will fire me the second day. Because I know I don't have that power to do it. But I can instruct them, the people under me, I can instruct them.
So who prepares the budget? Is it the governor or the ministry supervised by a commissioner?
How on earth will you ask me who prepares the budget? You are enlightened more than myself.
That's what I say. It's not the governor who prepares the budget.
That's what you have said.
The cabinet executes the budget.
No budget can go through without governor saying it, except it's a useless governor or useless president.
Chief, is it true that Solomon Adiola, senator, has agreed to step down for Gbega Nosinsa?
The Yoruba said, that question is not for me, it's for Gbega, Saka and Adiola. Because I didn't sit down with them. The two of them can go to any of them, they can answer that question. Not for me. Thanks.
All right, we'll have to go to break for the national news at 10. When we come back, Chief Joju Fadairo will still be here in the studio. And of course, we'll take a few questions and you'll be the one to ask the questions and of course to air your views. You can continue to send your short messages to 32120 Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to the short code. Or tweet at Rock City FM. That's our Twitter handle. Or drop by on our Facebook page, Rock City 101.9. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Thank you for still being there. Rock City 101.9 FM Daybreak Show. Sitting in from this morning looking at the different political alignment towards bringing out a strong candidate for the governorship election in 2019. We have with us an elder statesman, politician, Chief Joju Fadairo. Yes, we will be switching over to you. Turn the microphone to your side. Let's get what you think of what we've heard us discuss so far. What are those things that you also think that are different from the ones we have been talking about? 0809 and 0909
And of course, you can reach us via the short code 32120. And of course, our Twitter handle at Rock City FM. And our Facebook fan page remains Rock City 101.9. If you're calling, please stick to the rules. Turn down the volume on your radio set when you call and give us your name, your location, and go straight to the point. You are only permitted to be on air.
Straight away, we take your calls. We welcome your opinion, comments. Hello. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Sure, from the words of the interview with Baba, he has not factored in the position of the youth in the Ogun State governorship. He has not factored in also a candidate from the Coalition for Nigeria movement. I can judge that from his words. I believe he has not reached justice to the matter at hand. Pungent and straightforward. He has been objective so far. I can hear him talk about equity and fair play. Yes. He is experienced enough to know a lot about the going on in the state, and he has seen politics well in the state right from the time of Bisi Onabanjo to now. What is left for Baba is to finish his work, to see that the real work of repositioning and realignment is well concluded. It should not rest. It should not rest on the right and consensus candidate is presented from Ogun West for the next Gubernatorial. He should deploy his wealth of experience to see that this goes the way of justice and equity in the configuration of Ogun politics. Thank you very much.
081-7201-0902. Chief Dele Fadairo is taking notes. Can also use 0909-146-9670. Somebody is on.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning,
Good
your
morning.
name
Good
and
morning.
your 2 minutes.
I'm calling from the Ogun State. And it's an opportunity to speak this morning. I just want
What is your name?
Benson.
I've observed that I've been here now for 8 years. Indeed, we voted the government out under OGC. And we saw the better motion that we saw. And we thank God he has not disappointed us. Now, we also discovered that when you look at the demography, you Ayodo as the plus people. Ayodo the address of an activity. We form like one person of the population of the but if not two-thirds, or if not one-third. I will discover that the industrial agriculture is a part of Ogun, which is larger, like two-thirds of the total population of Ogun. But I discovered that the people of this area, they are worrying you and with the settler. They are not reckoning you when you are doing your political affiliation at the same time in Abeokuta. Why is it so? We voted the population of Nigeria is the one that for anybody that wants to become governor in Ogun State. For you people in that role, you don't even reckon we come here. Because you see that everything here is done by private sector. Why is it so? To be marginalized before the advent of Amazon here. Everything that now came and opened this. What is your view about the and how are you going to change that perception? Because we hold the numerical voting power in this state. And I want you politicians to take cognizance of that. Accept and come to place. So we have a formidable union here. We and their worries, they are going to put the test that have our people here. Good morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Hello, good morning. There's a drop call. You can try again. 081. Somebody. It's on. Yes, sir.
Am I not to
Yes, you are. Give us your name and your 2 minutes.
First and foremost, I want to appreciate our daddy, Joju Fadairo, for his submission. But there's one thing I want you to know that even in Yoruba land, there is a clear division between Awori and Yiwa. Just like last week I spoke. And say Awori will tell you, I am not a Yiwa man. And that happens, it means that there is no unity in the area of who to be the representative of the region from 2019 election. Of course, for those of us that are living here, we have always been clamoring for Yiwa man from 2019. But in the agitation for the emergence of this candidate, they don't even want to reckon with people from other regions. How can a Yewa governor emerge without the support of the people from Ogun East and Ijebu State of the zone? I think the party should work hand in hand, and there is no constitutional provision that says there must be rotation. They should work with other regions in order to ensure that parity is restored, and then Yewa man becomes governor in 2019. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, let's have just one cover and then we'll come to you, sir. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Thank
Yes,
you.
good morning.
I am Mr. Olakelani from Kuto. I think what is left for the Yewa people is to unite now if they want to succeed. Because the political forces that are against their ambition. For example, when Jimmy Lawal is now, from Jimmy Lawal from Ogun West, saying that whether they like it or not, he will be to the governor of Ogun State. That apart, if you don't support the political APC and all, APC coming together, because they look like mice, they will say, let us not deceive ourselves. Then I'm telling you that monetizing election, beginning, until we solve the socio-economic problems of the people. Thank you very much.
All right. Point of correction, Jimmy Lawal from Ogun East. We'll move away from the telephone. Let's choose the panel. Can we take your reaction to the press set?
Well, Mr. Kola is talking about what they will do for the youth. There's no government that can survive without taking care of the youth or without putting the youth in their mind, as well as the women. So I can assure him that when the time comes, the youth will be recognized very well. Mr. Benson just made some comments, and I think your comment is well taken. Bolaji Abati, you were talking about Yewa Awori. You see, it is not the fault of Awori or the Yewa people. It is the question of delineation, the way they put people together. If you go to Ogun East, you will see that the waterside people are not, some of them are from Ondo State, but because of the way it has happened, they are part of us. The only thing you are worried to do is to try and unite, and then don't think that I am a Yewa person or I'm an Awori person. That is the only way. If you work together, that is the only way you can have a government. And then you said they don't take care of you people because you have the largest vote. I'm from Ifo. I know that between Ayodo and Ifo, it's almost the same number of votes. You are doing well, but I'm sure the government Having said this, if we come to power by the grace of God, I know that they will take care of that, knowing fully well that you have the industrial companies around you there, and then you must benefit from that, and then they should take care of you and make you people happy. Mr. Kilani, I heard you very well. I know that you want the West people to come together. I think they have started that process now, trying to come together. But for you to say they will fail, don't be a pessimist. They will not fail. Thank you.
All right, let's take some more calls. 0817-201-0902 and 0909-146-967. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Dele. Good morning, Tobi.
Morning.
Joju Fadairo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is
Larry, what?
Judge.
Okay, sir.
I want to give it to you, sir. I mean, for your doggedness, for your maturity, sincerity, your purpose, all the time, sir.
Thank you very much.
One of us, sir.
Say what?
Areas of, trying at that.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, all right, Landry Jaji.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Let's add more calls, sir. Let's add more calls. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, 0817. Good morning.
Good morning, Dele and Anaye.
It's Tobi. It's Tobi and
Good morning.
yes, morning. So
Again, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
For me, I think it's for you to lose as far as I'm concerned.
You say?
It's for you to lose.
To lose. If they cannot, if Yewa cannot speak with one voice, presenting 2-3 candidates from different parties, I don't think they will win that election in 2019. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're actually looking at the different talks, alignments going on. Hello, by the morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Chief, I want to appreciate you sincerely. Truly, you are leader statesman. Statesman. I salute you. You have spoken so far. You have spoken in a very mature way. You have not attacked any district in Ogun State. You have not attacked any personality in Ogun State. And I want to appreciate that. And you have said it well about the marginalization of Ogun West. Well, some people have spoken that let us give it to them. And Chief, I don't want to go into the issue of the zone that came up. Though you have condemned that zone, but you were the chairman of PDP when this issue of this zone came up. And now,
Sorry to interject you. I've never condemned Sunni. Maybe you thought I said so.
no, I didn't.
no, the tagging.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. Wait.
I'm just referring to the issue.
Okay.
That the issue is giving us problem now. The issue of Remo, Ijebu, and Yewa. Initially, politically, we are talking. We always make use of territorial district in Ogun State, and we know that between 2003 to 2011, we have Ogun East Territorial District. Now we are having Ogun Central Territorial District. So we're supposed to have Ogun West Territorial District now. But because of what happened, the issue it was very much that did that administration then came up. Now it's the rules that are talking that no, it's one of the rules now. So these are the issues that happen every person. Whatever we will do yesterday, we should remember today. Whatever we will do at present, we should remember the future. So that will not give us so much problem. You have people who know that about that. And I want to appreciate you. The definitely there will be alignment and realignment. That nothing wrong in that. But whatever we will do, the interest of the state is paramount.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More calls. Let's add your call. Let's add your voice. Hello. You also welcome comments on our short code 32120. That's the number to send it to. You just need to type ROCK. That's the first thing you do. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tobi. And my brother,
Yes, sir.
Joju Fadairo.
Yes, sir.
Alagbajon.
Alagbajon.
Yes, please.
Good morning, sir.
Thank God that you are here and that you will not allow politics to smear your reputation.
Thank you,
You
sir.
know you to be always forthright, even from the home.
Thank you, sir.
And so we believe in what you have done, all that you have said. But like one Peter or Solomon said from Lagos, a home or a house divided against itself can never stand. It's just a pity. Like Tobi pointed out, that one of somebody from Yewa there, the position of deputy, instead of them coming together to spearhead until they have what they were itching for. Well, that is a lesson for them. May God help us. Now, by the way, before I drop the phone, please, if you have the opportunity, help us please on our governor on Igori Road. He has made a promise and he has to fulfill it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. One call more. Hello. Hello. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Elijah, what?
Me too.
Thank you, sir.
I want to know how you are expecting to do especially their pharmaceutical area. And people of the Cuba, they are willing that they will become to come and defend themselves. I believe that that is fine. Unless you know from the beginning, the people of the Cuba and Nairobi, you need to do that thing. Together and Nairobi together because they can win this thing. And I don't think we can do it because now, I think unless all the parties take the government of that region, that is where we supposed to remain. For now, if the economy doesn't do anything, I believe it will be affected because of the negative family. And they are doing the same on something now.
All right, thank you. We'll move away. We'll move away from the telephone lines. Chief, do you want to messages?
First of all, I thank Nani Gaji for his compliments. I appreciate you. We will continue to do what we know how to do and ensure that justice and equity is done. Mr. Solomon from Lagos, I agree with you that the Yoruba people should speak with one voice, and that one is in the process of being done. You will have heard that the leaders and party leaders and elders of Yewa, they call all of them to somewhere in Ilaro, and they have started talking to them. I'm sure the Lord will talk to them, it will inspire them so that they can now speak with one voice. Wait, you talk about Ijebu, Remo, Eba, Ebado. There's nothing like that anymore. That is where you normally have the confusion. We have 3 senatorial districts. Ijebu, the east, the west, and the central. These are the things that you have to reckon with. There's nothing like Remo or Ijebu. Ijebu and Remo is one senatorial district, while Abeokuta and the environ is one senatorial district. Ayodo, Wori, Yewa is another senatorial district. That is what is recognized by the constitution. So people who are talking about Remo, Yebu, talking about division, I think they must be living in the past. So please bear this in mind that it is 3 senatorial districts we have. So it could be rotated along that line. Alagba John, again, I thank you very much too for all you have said. Your compliments too, I appreciate. What Solomon said in Lagos that they should come with one force, you had me reacting to that. So that is that. That somebody from Yewa is talking to them in Yebu to be deputy. You know, people have ambition. That fellow may be having inordinate ambition and he might not be thinking about his people, because it's better to be the head than to be the subordinate. So that one is, we should just ignore that fellow. It won't work. And you probably you know that I'm from Igbore. I've been talking to the governor about roads. I have in the leadership, when I granted interview, I told the governor that he should please do the road from Ilaro to Owode Ebado, and I mentioned the one at Odeda to connect Express Road, and then I mentioned the one of Ajibo Road. Now that we are talking about Igbore Road, it will be my joy if I can have the opportunity to tell the governor, because that is my base. I'm from Igbore and I'm sure you know that. So we will continue to appeal to the governor, and I'm sure some of his people are hearing us that we are appealing to him to please do all the roads I've mentioned, as well as the one from Ifo to my own village. I've been clamoring for that. I've said that one several times in papers, on radio, and so on and so forth. Then the one in town, Igbore, Mr. Governor and the Commissioner for Work kindly help us patch the potholes on Igbore Road. Like Tobi, thank you very much. You think the people should come together. The people must defend themselves. The Yewa people who have been talked to, I'm sure they will rise up to the challenge. Thank you.
All right, let's take the short messages and the tweets. Ikechukwu Olisa says it is quite unfortunate the way we play politics in this country. How can political office holders be more powerful than political leaders? How can a governor be dictating what happens in his party or who succeeds him when the political leaders are there? That is uncalled for, because I can remember the days when the political party has the power to punish and even recall any of its political office holder who got it wrong. But what are we seeing in some political parties these days is like a threat to our democracy. That's Idojuku Olisa.
Ikojuku Olisa, thank you very much. As a politician, I have the candidate that I'm supporting, and openly I've spoken to him in the presence of people, and privately I've spoken with him that by the grace of God, when he becomes the governor of Ogun State, he should be in the government house and uh, uh, be doing governance, and that he should leave the party people to do politics or politicking, like you said. You see, because there are two different things. He should concentrate on how to administer the state. That is his primary something. That does not say he cannot talk to the political people. He can talk to them, he can give advice, he can do all this. We learned in those days that when the MPN and the UPN were around, when Baba Akintoye, if it is government something, Baba Akintoye will sit down waiting for Shagari. If it is political something, Shagari will sit down, Baba Akintoye will come, all of them will rise. So we are trying to see that we do that, and I can tell you we will give that example in Ogun State come 2019.
All right, let's take more of the messages. This one says, please, can Chief Joju Fadairo convince us with figures to prove that Ogun Central has a higher population than Ogun East? You will be right.
You can then straightforward. If you have access, you can check the voting pattern at least. Voting pattern is Ogun Central between 43-45%. Ogun East 35-38%, and Ogun West is 15-18, between 15 and 18% of the total votes. So you can interpret that
Sunday,
by yourself. And of course, and if you also look at the population and voting pattern, local government by local government, the first five really, you realize that Abeokuta South, Abeokuta North, Obafemi Owode. So Ogun Central has 3 already of the first 5. Ayodo is also there, and Ifo. Ogun Central actually has 4 of the first 5 highest number of votes. So if you can do that interpretation, these are things you can check or verify yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olusegun. You have heard everything, and you can go and research into that. Central is leading.
All right, Solomon Adiola, Senator, also known as Yayi, will contest in 2019 under APC. He is the only credible aspirant to the APC. So disjointed, Shola from Abeokuta sent in that message.
Shola, don't worry about that. Leave that to Yayi and the contestants.
All right. Good morning, Chief. Which party are you now? What was the cost of leaving your former party, and how long do you think your new party can go? How far do you think your new party can go in climbing the seat of power in Ogun State? And what is the take of the party and you are not too young to run? Kehinde Atonda Bakari.
Mr. Kehinde Atonda Bakari, I left my former party because of my conviction of what I have to do. I'm an adult and I hold on to my own opinion. It is not something that I have to be telling people on radio why I'm leaving one party for another. My new party is ADC.
The reaction gbogbo ẹ.
Surakat Abiodun tweeted this message. Alignment and realignment is needed as 2019 election in Ogun State is concerned, in as much as we want of the West to have the governorship slot, character, competence, and capability should be our watchword. The process should be open for the emergency better hands. Come 2019, a popular candidate should emerge from the West who will be sellable to other parts of the state. But one cannot be too sure. The only deciding factor come 2019 will be vote cast for each aspirant. So all aspirants should keep firing from all cylinders. Zechariah Lubayo says Yewa should be allowed to give us a faithful man or woman to stand as Ogun State governor, a faithful person. I repeat, I never knew that military men are doing the same thing civilians are doing. Surakat Abiodun says alignment and realignment was what brought APC to power in 2015, and so one should expect that to happen in 2019 as well. The electoral umpire should just be transparent so as to conduct a free, fair, and credible election come 2019 general election. And Dewolutunde says, Elder Joju said, and I quote, it is only God that puts anybody in a position. They are not God, and the people that are there are not God. May God help us all. Yamida Vinci says, Nigerian politicians will always be Nigerian politicians, always realigning for their own benefit and not for the people they are supposed to lead. You are for governor, but will it give me potable water in my house, better healthcare delivery and good schools? What's to be done about our teeming population? I will vote and campaign for the better candidate, even if he or she is from Governor Muso's immediate family. Having said this, we should probably choose a newer man with a Jebu mother and a bad wife. That way, we can move away from the needless identity politics. I hope Baba Fadairo knows he is admitted that Ojidi's administration was nepotistic and incompetent, with saying even a mad person will use the hoe towards he or herself. If the Yoruba people can get all the major parties to field candidates from there, all well and good. If just one Ijebu man comes with an Egba deputy from any major party, it will be Yewa local, Ijebu Lowashe. Olakuleyin Gbenga says, unless we want to be deceiving ourselves, what we are practicing in Nigeria is not democracy. The best candidate, irrespective of political party or senatorial district, should be allowed to emerge victorious. I hope a Yewa Wole candidate will not be rigged in 2019. Ambassador Abiola says, can Joju Fadairo look on OGD to go and fix Omo Road when he hasn't been given the directive? Okay. Yemi Davinci says, Baba Fadairo, don't you also think it is fair for Ogun PDP to zone its governorship tickets to Ogun Central Senatorial District, since it has never had a candidate from the zone since 1999? He's saying the PDP has not had a governorship candidate from Ogun Central since 1999.
I don't think so, because whether it is PDP or APC or SDP, what is required to be done has been done, irrespective of party affiliation. So I don't believe that it should be self-centered. I don't think it should be to the center. I still maintain the West.
All right, so let's take a few calls and then we'll call it a day. We have just 5 minutes.
Two calls.
Hello.
We'll take two calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, somebody, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. My Papa, thank you for your explanation, sir.
Thank you, sir. Speaking?
Your name, sir. Your name, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Ogun Emmanuel from Ayodo.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Dele. Dele is a student journalist just using a profession here. He's very natural parent to strangulate, but you are equal to the task. Not that those answers at the Rock City are I love them all. They should keep it up. I want to congratulate our Balogun of Ogundu and Yebara of successfully hearing the chief of CNNM to point of emergence of African Democratic Congress. I am using this medium to appeal to the good people of Ogun State. A state of honorable and eminent personalities all over the world that believe in legalization, that is equity to be considered and to go west. You are a chance.
All right, thank you. The last call.
And justice elsewhere, and accepting this group of people of international community, and it cannot be manifested in our home. That shows we are people. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Just one call more. Last call for the day. Hello. Hello, somebody. Your turn to speak. Good morning. Hello, good morning. You are on. Hello. All right. Hello. Morning. Morning. Good morning. We can hear you. Give us your name. You have less than 2 minutes, sir.
Good morning, Elder Statesman. Somebody from Nigeria. I want to ask, are you seeing a different song from that of Professor Asiaju, Dikin Kojade? I don't think any candidate people will pick notice to come to power they will see. That's it. Who is coming up in another party? Let's go back and think about it. I want Yewa people to governor.
All right, thank you. We have to end it here. Thank you. We need to add the messages. Thank you very much. We need to add the messages and take reaction.
All right, let's quickly take this one from our WhatsApp group. This is a question from Barrister Kinshola. Will picking a candidate from a section of the state not shut out the aspirations of other qualified aspirants in other zones? Alright, JP Oyegule says, God bless you, sir. Baba Fadairo, for being diplomatic in your response. I implore you, sir, to do everything possible to ensure only one Gamuji candidate emerge from Ogun West for posterity to write your good name in gold. Oyegule, JP. For posterity to write your name in gold, as an elder who built the growth and foundation for Yoruba people and posterity. That's Gideon Oyegule from Enega. Honorable Larry Jadi says, God bless you, sir, Baba Joju Fadairo, for your fatherly role. But please talk to the players to play the game by the rules.
Papa Ogun State from Ayodo. Thank you very much. You are talking about coming up with one candidate, or whether it's from APC or ADC or whatever, that it should be one. That is left for the people in Yewa to do. I will try my own best to try to do what I can. Kayode was saying, what did Kayode say? Kayode Akisha.
Yeah, he's saying that what if
you will be shutting out other people if you insist that.
Well, Lawyer Akisola, thank you very much. I've not shut out. At the beginning of the program, I remember I said that even if it is soon to a senatorial district, other people can come out because it is democracy. So nobody is shut out. Anybody who has the will or strength or without to do it will come out. Nobody will stop them, irrespective of the party they are coming from. So it's not shut out. You are saying we should try to talk to them to bring one candidate. Well, if there are two parties, it's difficult to do that, but the Lord will guide us.
All right, on that prayerful note, we want to end it for the day. May the Lord continue to guide us. Tomorrow will be the open day, another opportunity for us to get involved, get engaged in the discussion. Dele, Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all, God bless Nigeria, and God bless Rock City.
And I want to really appreciate every one of you who have contributed thus far. We appreciate you, those who send messages, those who called, and those who tweeted. I want to appreciate also Elder Joju Fadairo for finding time to be here. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Anytime.
I am Tobi Joseph. Have a wonderful Thursday.